Hey guys, and welcome back to our van build. Today we are tackling one of the biggest steps to taking this empty cargo van into our tiny home on wheels. We're gonna take you along, show you our tips and tricks and just the process along the way. So we hope you enjoy.
Okay, this is the load. We got her from Luke's Timber Mart. We got some 2x2s, some 2-inch styrofoam insulation, and 2 pieces of plywood. We're gonna try to make a template. I think we're gonna need another piece, but we just grabbed that for now. We didn't know exactly how much, but yeah, let's get that all out and then we're gonna start from scratch. Yesterday, we kind of had a little bit of time, so we just kind of labeled everything with green tape, even though we're probably going to rip it all off today. But what the main goal was just kind of get all the electrical kind of labeled and where we're going to run it, because I got wires coming in today, and then we're going to be putting a video out for that as well. So that's going to be a big step, get it all pre-wired so later we don't get into trouble and forget a step. So yeah, start off with putting 2 boards at the front and the center. That way we obviously know our limits and stuff. So let's start here. Okay, we're looking at 58 inches. So let's chop this piece up.
Willie just free-handed these angles. Let's see how she fits.
Yeah, that'll do.
Oh, buddy!
That'll do.
Like a glove.
Cool. 4 feet. 3.5. 3. 2.5. I'm a dog.
That was not very good.
That layout.
Now that we have our subfloor grid / frame all cut out, we are going to now glue it down, and once that's dried, we will screw them as well. In the meantime, I think we're gonna cut out our insulation to the perfect measurements to fill in these little gaps here, and then we'll see if the glue dries quick enough, then we'll install it tonight as well. I'll keep you guys updated.
I think lots is good, eh? Oh, we're gonna need something to hold it here.
Stopped right here. Well, we'll get this board in, and I guess it's our last tube, so we're gonna have to get some more tomorrow, I guess. But
we have like 3 more boards. Actually,
3
2 after that.
Yeah, 2 more. But we'll just have to call her a night, because we're also in the middle of a tornado warning, so we'll see you then.
You can't really tell, but she's coming at us pretty good. It's already tossing around all the styrofoam. Got this set up, you know, she's pretty mint, but you know, we got loose parts Well folks, it's the next day here. Got all the floorboards in. These are in dang sturdy, so that glue is pretty legit. We got 2 more tubes of it today. Just for later, we're gonna throw the insulation on. But for now, we're gonna start up with our template. So our plywood is 4 foot by 8 foot. So we're gonna go, just always try to maximize that width the whole time. So it goes about 4 feet. Will take us to right about here. It would have been nice if it would have went right to there, but that's alright. I think we'll be okay by the time it's sitting on insulation. So we'll go right up to there, and then this direction is 60 inches and 7/8. And then we gotta remember this little cutout that we gotta do. So 2.5 by 1.5. So we'll cut that out, and then that'll be our first piece.
Oh boy!
Yeah, you go.
I'm just dressing pretty good. Before you freak out.
What? I didn't even feel it get stank. How's that cut? Not bad.
Not bad.
We got that board in. That one was a little bit of a tighter squeeze and a couple little angles that we had to snip out of the rear. But now we're just going to try to make a template for this wheel well. We're just going to use some old cardboard, see what happens.
We have our template drawn out on both sides. We're gonna cut it out. Let's see if we can make this work.
Let's hope that's the spot. And that's the table, guys. You know, should got it. At least I knew.
Yeah. Okay, should we go see if it fits?
Yep. Moment of truth. Come on, baby. Be the one. Be the ticket.
Oh.
Just a little convincing, you know. Nobody's watching. Oh, yeah.
Nice. Hey. Last pieces.
You might be wondering what this whole leg is. You know, this is the last piece here. But when we were doing the wheel well there, we missed a little bit of an inch. Minor, but we'll see. This might make up for it if it fits. Let's see. It might just need a good little stomping, a little convincing.
Oh.
Not quite, but with a little bit of convincing, she's bang on, bud. Let's get some insulation under this puppy.
We just took out our plywood, or what's it called?
Yep.
Yeah. We just took out our plywood from the van because now the next step is cutting and inserting our insulation in these little grooves here, like I mentioned before. So we're gonna see how easy, how hard it is to cut this insulation. But we're hoping we just have to cut little squares and rectangles, so it shouldn't be too bad. Yeah, that's the next step. So we're gonna do a test strip on the side here, just with the jigsaw. Like butter, but now we have all Now we have all of this
We'll just kind of tell.
popcorn. Let's see if she fits.
What's that here? I think we're in.
Willie just ran into town real quick and left me to do the final piece. See how it fits. Again, he's been doing all the cutting today, so I don't have very high hopes, but let's see. Not bad. Now that we have all this styrofoam in, I am going to go in with the aluminum foil tape just around all the cracks and between the styrofoam and the 2x2s, just so any moisture doesn't get in, and it's also just what I've seen online that people do. So that is what I'm doing now.
Okay, so what the situation is the 2x2s that we got turned out to be more like 1.5 by 1.5, unfortunately. So, but the insulation was still 2-inch. So now we have a little bit of a gap in between the insulation and the 1x1s that we laid down, and now we're screwing down the plywood. But I think it's gonna suck itself down, and there might be a little bit of a gap in between, obviously, where the 1x1, 1.5 by 1.5s are. And that just happened, so we're just gonna have to live with that, because we're not gonna pull out all these boards and just restart, because we did a darn good job so far, and we just can't you know, let the enemy win here, bud. Or what? Hey, we just got the late night crew out here again, you know, just a classic us. Well, we've been giving her today. Been putting in a full shift today, honestly, like. No breaks. Well, we just had dinner, but it's like 9 p.m., like 9 p.m. dinner.
I need a new piece.
And, yeah, this is just the wife just giving her here. You know, we're doing a little tape job. Board's already zapped in, so I'm just kind of waiting on her. I cut a bunch of pieces ahead of her. So I'm gonna be, mosquitoes are coming out, so.
Yeah. Can you get me a hoodie, please?
Just getting close to the old cleanup time, but figured I'd do a little demonstration. Head up, Fury. Buddy's shook. Buddy's very shook. You watch where you're looking at, boy. Oh, I heard him. Such a good boy. Just got a mosquito on my nose. Alright, we got the old night shift here. You know, she got pretty dark pretty quick, so I had to hook up this old hillbilly setup here. You know, it's pretty good actually. You know? Good enough to get her done. The wife got her all taped up. Everything's perfectly sealed. So now we're just gonna finish up with throwing on the rest of the boards. So let's see how late that gets. You know, we're still working that midnight clock.
We've done what we can tonight. We're just worried about our next door trailer neighbor with the drill sound and all that. So we're gonna call it a night here. Finish her up tomorrow morning, but it is looking so good in here. Floor is a little creaky still, but on the pallets or the, what do you call it, plywood, there's no creak. Good morning, you guys. It's day I don't even know how many. This floor's taking us forever. But it's light outside. We don't have to use a truck light. And we are banging out the plywood for the floor. We just have maybe 3 panels left. So we're gonna bang them out and then we're gonna have a floor. Last piece.
We make them to be fed out here.
If you're wondering what my jobs are, oops, I'm not even very good at it.
Right here. Lots wet there.
We have a floor. Good job. Okay, let's do a squeak test.
Oh, what was that?
Other than that,
Not too bad.
Willy makes a pretty good subfloor. Now that we have built our strong foundation, aka the floor for our fan, we thought it'd be a good idea to now go ahead and write scriptures on the plywood. We think it's really important to also build a firm foundation in our Lord. So that's what we are going to do now is write scriptures and inspirational quotes just to have that constant reminder and have those powerful words surrounding us.
Yeah, it's always important to just have that in the back of our heads, because at the end of the day, if we lose sight of the Lord, we're just gonna be trampled on by the world, and we won't be able to have that guidance that we need, and just to be able to find strength in Him is such a blessing. And yeah,